What if I told you that worry is nothing more than an illusion, a lie your mind keeps repeating? The mind shapes everything. What you think, you become, said the Buddha. But what if your thoughts are quietly unraveling your peace, robbing your sleep, and hijacking your joy? If you've ever laid awake, replaying old conversations or fearing things that haven't even happened, you're not alone. Here's the truth. Most of us live in fear of a future that doesn't even exist. So let me ask you, what if you could break free from that cycle right now? In this video, we're going to uncover a powerful Buddhist insight that's been hiding in plain sight. And it's not just a philosophy, it's a practice you can begin today. One that could shift everything. You're about to discover the true root of worry, and more importantly, how to release. If you take away just one thing from this video, let it be this. Stick around until the end for a bonus lesson that ties it all together. Lesson 1. Be happy now. What Buddhism really says about worry: there is no path to happiness. Happiness is the path. Simple word. But to most of us, they sound like a riddle. Why? Because we've been conditioned to chase happiness, not recognize it. You were taught that happiness lives in the future, in the promotion, the perfect partner, the next achievement. So you push harder, run faster, telling yourself, once I get everything together, then I'll relax, then I'll smile, then I'll finally be happy. But somehow that day never comes. Imagine this. Your life is a room filled with sunlight, but the curtains are drawn. Worry is the curtain, and every time you say, I'll feel better, when you're just pulling the curtain tighter. Buddhism doesn't teach us to stop caring. It teaches us to wake up. Wake up to the lie that joy is something you'll find at the end of the race. It's not. It's already, but only if you stop postponing it. Ask yourself honestly, what are you postponing joy for? More money? A cleaner home? A better job title? What if this messy, unfinished, unpredictable moment is already enough? Buddhist wisdom cuts through the noise with one piercing truth. Attachment is the root of suffering, and one of the most overlooked attachments? The belief that life should be different than it is. We suffer because we argue with reality. But what if instead of resisting, you practiced letting joy exist right alongside imperfection? Your job may still be uncertain. Your relationship might not be ideal. Your to-do list might be overwhelming. But peace doesn't come when life quiets down. It comes when you stop fighting the noise. Train your mind to notice what's right, not just what's wrong. This doesn't mean ignoring your problems. It means choosing not to let them rule your inner world. So take a breath with me. No fixing, no forcing, just presence. Can you fully arrive in this one? That breath, that moment is where happiness lives. Not in some distant future you have to earn, but in the quiet magic of now. A monk once said, when walking, just walk. When eating, just eat. It sounds childlike, but maybe that's the point. Children don't wait to be happy. They are happy because they don't split the moment. They don't resist it, and neither should you. So ask yourself, what if nothing changes? Can you still choose joy? Can you find beauty in the cracks, peace in the mess, and contentment in this very moment? Because the truth is, happiness isn't some buried treasure waiting to be discovered in the future. It's like sunlight, already shining. If only you'd pull back the curtain of now. Let go of the belief that happiness lives somewhere else. It's not out, it's here, beneath your resistance. At the end of the day, you have two choices. Wait for the perfect moment, or choose to make this one enough. Be happy now. That's not denial, that's wisdom. Lesson 2. What is worry, according to Buddhism? Worry is a mental illusion. All that we are is the result of what we have thought, said the Buddha. But worry isn't truth. It's a shadow puppet dancing on the walls of your mind. It only seems real when your attention shines behind it. You feel its urgency, its pressure, but stop and ask yourself, if thoughts aren't facts, why do you treat them like rules? Every day your mind spins stories about tomorrow, emails that haven't come, conversations that haven't happened, failures that only live in your imagination. Buddhism teaches that worry is just that, mental storytelling. It's attachment to a made-up future that steals the joy of the present. When you chase certainty, you build walls around your peace. You act like control is currency, while your mind quietly prints counterfeit worry to spend. In ancient monasteries, monks learned to observe thoughts like clouds passing through a quiet sky. At first, the urge to chase them, fix them, or resist them feels overwhelming. But here's the truth. A cloud doesn't ask for your attention. It doesn't demand a response. It simply appears and moves on. What if you treated worry the same way? What if instead of reacting, you simply observed it, noticed its shape, its mood, and let it drift by? Modern life supercharges worry. Notifications buzz. Comparisons crowd your feed. Productivity culture tells you anxiety equals ambition. At work, you brace for worst-case scenarios before meetings begin. At home, you run future numbers and outcomes before acting. You believe that if you predict the storm, you'll avoid getting wet. But Buddhism reminds us, attachment to prediction is attachment to suffering. When you let go of the need to control everything, clarity returns, even in uncertainty. Here's how to begin. Pause just 3 times a day. Before a meeting, before answering a text, before making dinner. Take 1 full breath. Notice the worry. Name it. There's the money worry. There's the relationship fear. Then silently say, this is just a thought. Let it drift. No pushing, no chasing, no judgment. Each time you do this, you loosen the puppet strings. Imagine a real moment. A student, frozen before an exam, panic setting in. Instead of fighting the fear, she watches it, like a cloud passing by. She notices it, then lets it go. The questions on the test were less intimidating than the ones in her mind. When she released the grip of imagined failure, her focus sharpened. She finished with calm confidence. Buddhist wisdom doesn't offer a life without worry. It offers something deeper, the freedom to choose your response. You are not at the mercy of every thought that passes through your head. You can become the observer, not the actor, in every drama your mind writes. So ask yourself, what if worry isn't a compass, but just an echo of fear? What if by refusing to follow its outline, you step into the light of awareness? Mastery isn't found in control. It's found in the gentle release of control, so you can greet life as it is, with a steady heart. Let worry be a cloud, not a command. Let it pass, and in the quiet space it leaves behind, discover peace was always there, waiting. Lesson: the mind's trap. How we create suffering with thought. The root of suffering is attachment. These words aren't just spiritual poetry. They're a mirror, a reflection of how we entangle ourselves with our own thoughts. We're not trapped by chains. We're trapped by stories, silent assumptions, and invisible rules. You experience something neutral, a delay, a breakup, a missed opportunity. Instantly, the mind labels it bad, wrong. This shouldn't be happening. And from that moment, suffering begins, not from the event, but from the meaning you gave it. You don't suffer because life changed. You suffer because you expected it not to. The Buddhist path reveals the mind as a storyteller, spinning entire realities out of resistance and preference. But look closely, and you'll realize the story only has power if you believe it. If you believe it, suffering doesn't begin with the thought. It begins the moment you believe the thought. That's when we stop observing and start identifying. We don't have worry, anger, or regret. We become them, as if they define us. But they don't. They're not you. They're passing guests. You are the space they move through. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what are you mentally fighting right now? Maybe it's a delay in your career. Maybe it's someone not living up to your expectations. Maybe it's that silent, haunting fear that you're falling behind. Now look closer. What thought is fueling that fight? Is it true? Is it absolutely true? Or is it a belief you've rehearsed so often it feels real? A woman once told the Buddha, "My life is full of suffering." He replied with a single question, "What are you clinging to?" She broke down in tears, realizing it wasn't the world causing her pain. It was her grip on how she believed the world should be. Her healing didn't come from changing the outside. It came from releasing her inner resistance. Every moment you fight reality, you tighten the bars of your mental cage. But each time you pause, breathe, and witness your thoughts without judgment, you loosen them. You remember, you are not your mind, you are the awareness behind it. And that awareness, that's free. The practice. Next time you feel triggered or upset, don't rush to change anything. Instead, notice how your mind labels the moment: unfair, terrible, unacceptable. Then ask, what if I didn't believe that label? What if this moment is just a moment? Suffering ends when you stop clinging to what should be and meet life exactly as it is. You may not like it, but you can still make peace with it, and from that peace, something amazing happens. Clarity returns, strength rises, action becomes effortless, not driven by fear, but rooted in wisdom. Because here's the deeper truth: your mind can be a trap or a tool, and you hold the key, not by force, not by perfection, but by letting go. Let go of the thought, let go of the story, and finally, be free. Lesson 4. Living in the present, the real antidote to anxiety. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Simple words, but they cut through anxiety like a blade through fog. Because here's the truth: worry can't survive in the now. It only lives in time, in a future that hasn't come or a past that's gone. But peace lives in presence. Not next week, not tomorrow. Now. Imagine your mind like a still lake. When calm, it reflects everything clearly. But every thought of the past sends ripples. Every imagined future stirs the surface. Soon, the reflection is gone. Not because it disappeared, but because the water is restless. The calm is still there. You just can't see it. So ask yourself, can I stop stirring the water? Yes. You may feel overwhelmed by work, relationships, expectations. Yes, your mind screams, what if I fail? What if I'm not enough? But those fears, they only live in a movie your mind keeps playing. And Buddhism doesn't ask you to deny those fears. It asks you to wake up from them. Come back to the one place where fear loses its grip. The present, right now. Feel your breath, not the idea of your breath, the sensation of it, the rise, the fall. This is your anchor. This is your doorway to peace. And when your mind drifts, as it will, come back to your senses. Feel your feet. Notice the sounds, the texture of your clothes. These small things are not distractions. They are home. You're not broken for worrying. You're just lost in a place that doesn't exist. So ask yourself, am I here? Or am I living in a conversation that hasn't happened? A failure that never came. Every time you return to now, you take back your power. You stop reacting to a fantasy. You start responding to reality. There's a story about a Zen master. Someone asked, "How are you so calm in chaos?" He smiled and said, "When I eat, I eat. When I walk, I walk. When I sit, I sit." The student replied, "But we all do that." And the master said, "No. When you eat, your mind is already at work. When you walk, your mind is racing home. When you sit, your mind is worrying about what's next." That's the difference. The present moment isn't a pause between tasks. It's the only place life actually happens, where peace lives, where decisions are made. So stop running into the future. Stop dragging the past. Just be here. This breath, this step, this pause. Because the truth is, you don't need more time. You need more presence. And presence isn't something you find. It's something you practice. So next time worry shows up, don't try to fix the future. Just ask, am I here, or lost in a place that doesn't exist? Peace doesn't wait for a better moment. It begins the moment you arrive. Lesson 5. Trusting life. The art of letting go. Let go or be dragged. 5 words. Simple, hard, true. But Buddhism reveals something deeper. Letting go isn't giving up. It's waking up. Waking from the illusion that you're in control of everything. That you can predict, prevent, and perfect every detail of life. That illusion doesn't just steal your peace. It drains your soul. Trying to control life is like trying to clutch water. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. You plan your career down to the hour. Obsess over outcomes. Fear every unknown. You try to control people, what they think, how they act, how long they stay. You chase 100 futures, all the things that might go wrong. But has that ever brought peace? Or has it only multiplied your fear? Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start trusting. Trusting that life unfolds, not always as you hoped, but often exactly as you need. That the outcomes you can't change aren't punishments, they're teachers. That surrender isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Because when you stop forcing everything, something powerful happens. Your energy shifts from fear into There's a story. A man clings to a branch, dangling over a cliff. Jagged rocks below, no help above. He cries out, "Is anyone there? Help me." A voice answers, "Let go." He hesitates. "What?" Again the voice, "Let go." Terrified, he stays frozen. Hours pass. He loses strength, slips, and lands gently on a ledge, just feet below. Sometimes the ground you fear doesn't even exist, and the only thing between you and peace is the clinging itself. So ask yourself, what are you holding so tightly? A plan that isn't working, a person who's already gone, a version of yourself you've outgrown. What if you loosened your grip, just a little? What if you stopped wrestling with life and started dancing with it? Letting go begins with a breath, a softening of the jaw, a relaxing of the chest, the smallest surrender of control. You don't have to release everything all at once, just one thought, one fear, one should, that weighs you down, and something strange happens. As soon as you stop clinging, space opens up, space for clarity, for new possibilities, for the present moment to breathe again. And from that space, you move, not from desperation but from alignment. Letting go isn't the end of control, it's the beginning of trust. And when you trust life, you realize you were never meant to carry it all. So stop clenching, start flow, because peace doesn't come from holding on, it comes from having the courage to let go. Lesson 6. Accept what is. Resistance is the true enemy. Peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. A simple teaching, but one that's hardest to remember when life doesn't go your way. When plans unravel, when people disappoint, when trust is broken. In those moments the mind goes to war. It tightens. It argues. It refuses. This shouldn't be happening. This is unfair. These ruins everything. But Buddhism reminds us, it's not the moment that causes suffering. It's the resistance to the moment. Picture rowing a boat upstream of a broken paddle. Every stroke is exhausting, yet you go nowhere. That's what resisting life feels like. You fight your job situation, your heartbreak, your uncertainty, wishing the river flowed another way. But it doesn't, and it never has. The river of life flows how it flows. So the question is not, how do I change the current? It's, can I stop fighting it and float? Acceptance isn't approval. It doesn't mean you wanted this. It means you stop pretending it didn't happen. It means you meet the truth without turning it into your enemy. Because the pain isn't just from the loss, it's from the story you attach to it. This should never have happened. I can't survive this. And suddenly you're not just in pain, you're in pain about the pain. That's where suffering is born. There's a story. A monk is attacked during a robbery. As he bleeds, someone asks, "Aren't you angry?" He replies, "There is pain. Why add hatred to it?" That's the power of acceptance. You don't deny the wound. You just stop wounding yourself again and again. So ask yourself, what are you wishing were different right now? Your career, your pace in life, the way someone treated you. What would change if you stopped resisting it? Not surrendering to being stuck, but surrendering to what is. Because in that surrender something unexpected appears. Clarity. And with clarity comes choice. You stop reacting. You start responding, not from panic, but from presence. It's not reality that drains you. It's the fight against it. When you accept, you conserve your energy. You turn inward, to the one place peace has always lived. Not out there, but in here. You don't have to love everything that happens, but you can stop pretending that life should always align with your expectations. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Acceptance is where emotional freedom begins. It's the moment you stop fighting the current and let the river guide you. Maybe it leads to healing, maybe to growth, maybe just to peace. But it always begins with the words, "This is what is. I will face it fully." Stop rowing against the flow. The clarity you seek doesn't come from changing the moment. It comes from changing how you meet it. Lesson 7. Stop fixing yourself. You're not broken. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. The Buddha. But how often do you give it to yourself? Not the polished kind of self-love, wrapped in productivity and praise, but the quiet, honest kind that says, even here, even now, I am worthy. Buddhism doesn't ask you to fix what's broken. It invites you to remember, you were never broken. You're not a problem to solve. You're a garden to nurture. But too often we treat ourselves like projects. We see flaws as failures, sadness as weakness, and growth as proof that we're not yet enough. We chase self-improvement, not for joy, but for permission to finally be acceptable. But growth without self-acceptance is just self-rejection in disguise. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing a friend, not a fixer-upper, but a human to support, to understand, to forgive. Peace doesn't wait at the end of 10 new habits, or 5 more books, or a future version of yourself. It's here, now, in the moment you stop abandoning who you already are. There's a story of a cracked clay pot. Every day it leaked water on the path. Ashamed of its flaw, one day it apologized, but the gardener smiled and said, "Have you not noticed the flowers blooming only on your side of the trail? Your cracks, they're not failures, they're where the light gets out, where your empathy, your wisdom, your beauty pour through." The goal was never perfection. It was awareness, presence, love. Ask yourself, are you trying to be better or to be lovable? Because what if you already are? What if all the fixing is just noise, covering a deeper truth, that you are already whole? Yes, grow, but let it come from kindness, not fear, from acceptance, not shame. You don't plant a tree and demand it bloom faster. You water it, you give it sunlight, you shelter it, then it grows. So too with you. When you stop trying to be enough, you finally feel that you are, and in that space, you rise, naturally. Not because you're broken, but because you're believing in your own worth. Treat yourself like a friend, a companion, not a project. When your inner voice becomes gentle, life becomes lighter, and the need to fix fades into the willingness to heal. You are not a machine to repair. You are a garden, and the moment you stop criticizing the soil, you'll see it's already fertile. Lesson 8. Thoughts are not facts. Be the watcher, not the warrior. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. The sky, not the storm. But most of us live trapped in our minds, tangled in every fear, every prediction, every imagined scenario, as if they were absolute truth. Worry becomes our narrator. Doubt becomes our identity. But here's the shift Buddhism offers. You don't have to believe everything you think. Your mind is like a radio. It plays stories, echoes memories, projects futures. But you are not the station. You're the one who listens. Imagine a storm rolling through the sky. Thunder, wind, rain. But the sky itself, still, vast, untouched. Your awareness is that sky. The storm, just passing thoughts. But when we forget that, we get swept away. We become the storm. We react. We resist. We believe the mind's movie like it's a prophecy. But what if you could just watch? There's a mindfulness practice called noting. A thought arises, I'm not good enough. This will never work. What if I fail? You gently name it. Fear. Doubt. That gentle acknowledgement creates space, and in that space, peace begins. You don't need to fight the thought. You don't need to fix it. Just see it, name it, and let it pass, like a cloud across the sky. So much of our suffering doesn't come from life, but from the stories we attach to life. A delay becomes disaster. A silence becomes rejection. A mistake becomes proof of our unworthiness. But these are not facts. They're interpretation, and your power lies not in controlling your mind, but in choosing your relationship to it. When you stop being the warrior and become the watcher, you return to peace, not by escaping the storm, but by remembering you are the sky. Lesson. Practice radical self-compassion. Let's ask something radical. Which thought are you clinging to right now? That one judgment that won't let go, that imagined future stuck on repeat. What if it's just a cloud, harmless, fleeting? What if you could sit beside your mind as if by a river and simply watch the thoughts pass, not touched, not trapped, just aware? Because the moment you stop believing every thought, you start to taste something rare, freedom. You begin to see clearly, I am not this thought, I am the space it moves through. The stress you feel, it's not from the moment itself, it's from the commentary, the mental narration, the mind's ongoing play-by-play of what should be happening. But here's the invitation: practice being the watch. When the mind says this is bad, watch it. When it whispers, you can't handle this, smile softly and keep watching. When it screams, something's wrong, breathe. Remember, thoughts aren't commands, they're just noise. They only hold power when you believe them. You are not your fear, not your anxiety, not your inner critic. You are the stillness beneath the noise, the vast sky behind the storm. And that awareness, it doesn't panic, it simply observes and remains free. Now from that awareness, turn inward with a new intention, radical self-compassion. You are not unworthy because you worry. You are not failing because you feel overwhelmed. You are not broken. You are human. Somewhere along the path of growing up, you learn to wear perfection like armor, to earn your worth, with calm, with composure, with constant doing. But Buddhism gently unravels that myth. You are already enough. Even now, peace does not come when you fix yourself. It comes when you meet yourself, with kindness, especially in the places that feel most unlovable. Imagine standing before a cracked mirror. The cracks don't erase the reflection. The light still shines through. So do you. Worry, fear, regret. They're not flaws. They're proof of your aliveness. And often the real suffering isn't in the fear itself. It's in the voice that says, you shouldn't feel this. You're doing life wrong. Would you ever say that to someone you love? Then why say it to yourself? There's a quiet revolution in this path. Radical self-compassion. Not indulgence, no excuses, but a fierce gentleness that says, even here, I will not abandon myself. The mind may tremble, the emotions may shake, but the compassionate heart, it stays. And in staying, something softens. The inner war begins to end. Think of a frightened child. You don't yell at them to be brave. You hold them. You soothe them. You listen. Your fear is that child. And you are the parent now. So next time worry grips your chest, pause, place a hand over your heart, and whisper what you would tell someone you love. It's okay. I'm here. I've got you. Simple, soft, true. And watch what happens inside when you stop trying to escape your feelings and start embracing the one who feels them. Because here's the truth. Your worth doesn't disappear in moments of doubt. Your light doesn't go dim when you're overwhelmed. A cracked mirror still reflects, and so do you. So the next time your inner critic speaks, ask, would I say this to someone I love? And if not, why say it to yourself? Your healing begins with gentleness. Your strength is born from kindness. And your peace, it starts the moment you look in the mirror, cracks and all, and say, you're enough, even now. Lesson 10. Replace worry with purposeful action. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but takes you nowhere. You know the feeling. Mind racing through worst-case scenarios. What ifs on repeat. Mental chaos disguised as control. And yet, nothing changes. The bills don't pay themselves. The job doesn't apply itself. The path remains uncertain. Buddhism offers a quiet, firm reminder. Do not act from worry. Act from clarity. There's a world of difference between frantic motion and mindful movement. One exhausts you. The other frees you. Picture worry as static, loud, constant draining. But underneath the noise, a deeper silence waits. That's your clarity. When you access it, you move from intention, not from fear. You stop reacting to everything and begin responding to what actually matters. You take the next right step, not the 100 imagined ones. So next time you feel overwhelmed, try this. Pause, take one breath, return to your body, feel the ground beneath you. Then ask, what is one small, real thing I can do from a calm place? And do just that. That's not avoidance. That's alignment. Worry will always tempt you. It will whisper, You must fix everything, right now. But you don't have to obey. You don't have to solve your whole life today. You just have to take one clear step from a quiet place inside. That's where peace lives, not in controlling everything, but in choosing what truly matters, one conscious moment at a time. Lesson 11. You don't have to react to everything. There is a stillness waiting to be discovered, not found in escape, but in presence. That stillness is your true clarity. It's the quiet space, beneath the noise, where purpose arises naturally, not from force, but from awareness. When you pause the internal storm, you make space to ask, what is one small, purposeful step I can take right now? Not a leap, not a fix for everything, just a single mindful act that shifts your energy from spiraling fear to forward motion. We confuse worry with preparation. We think if I think enough, plan enough, stress enough, I'll feel ready. But worry is clever. It feels like doing, yet it leaves you exhausted, unchained. Action, though, even a small one, breaks the cycle. Send the email, drink the water, stand, stretch, exhale. That is your rebellion against paralysis. That is your return to clarity. Every mindful step is proof that you are more than your anxious thought. Peace isn't found in solving everything. It's found in choosing one thing with intention. And when you do, something shifts. Lesson 12. You don't have to react to everything. Emotions surge, like sudden storms, fierce, fast, loud. But you are not the storm. You are the sky. That is the metaphor Buddhism offers, and it changes everything. Feelings arise. They swirl, pour, crack, like thunder, but they pass. They always pass. They do not define the sky, and they do not define you. The anxiety, the sadness, the anger, they are visitors, not your identity. Yet we live as if every emotion requires a reaction, as if to feel is to do. But between the moment you're triggered and the moment you respond is a space. That space is your power. You can breathe into it. You can pause inside it. You can choose. Without that pause, we react from habit, from fear, from the old script. With it, we create something sacred, a conscious response. Try it. Next time a wave of emotion rises, don't ride it blindly. Sit back, observe it, name it gently. Ah, anger. Ah, fear. Then breathe and watch. You'll see the emotion shifts, softens, passes, just like a cloud drifting across a vast sky. You don't have to resist it. You don't have to obey it. You don't have to become it. This is how peace grows, not by escaping what arises, but by changing how you meet it. Imagine being the sky. Imagine your awareness, so vast, no storm could overwhelm it. That is your practice now. Not control, not repression, but still present. Every time you pause instead of react, breathe instead of panic, watch instead of wrestle, you reclaim your power. You remember, I am not this storm. I am the sky it moves through. And nothing, not even the wildest weather, can change the bonus lesson. Choose what matters, not what feels comfortable. Imagine walking through a thick fog where nothing is certain, and every step feels unsure. In that haze, comfort will tempt you. Turn back, sit down, wait until it's clear. But waiting for certainty can become its own prison, and comfort, when chosen over meaning, slowly becomes restlessness. This is what Buddhism teaches. Peace isn't found in ease. It's found in alignment, not comfort, but clarity, not avoidance, but intention. When your choices reflect your deepest values, even if they scare you, even if they stretch you, something inside settles. This is not about self-denial. It's about self-honoring. It's asking what truly matters, again and again, until your life becomes your answer. That question is your compass when the way forward is unclear. That question is your lantern when the fog will not lift. Growth asks you to step outside what's easy, and meaning often hides in the hard, the uncertain, the inconvenient. But unlike comfort, meaning leaves no regret. So next time you're caught between comfort and conviction, pause, feel the pull, then choose what matters, even if your hands tremble. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving in alignment, despite it. the path of peaceful awareness. Be happy now. Happiness is not a finish line, it's a way of walking. Joy exists now, not when life is perfect, but when the mind allows it. What is worry? Worry is the mind's habit of living in imagined futures. It creates stress by trying to control what cannot be known. See it for what it is, and it loses its grip. You are not your thoughts. The mind spins stories, but you are not those stories. You are the awareness behind them, the sky, not the storm. Watch the mind, don't believe everything it says. Thoughts are not commands, they're clouds passing through. You don't need to chase them, you don't need to fight them. You can simply watch. Replace worry with purposeful action, one step, one breath, one decision rooted in clarity. This is how you move forward. Practice radical self-compassion. You are not unworthy for being afraid. You are human. Meet your fear the way you would hold a child, with warmth, not judgment. Pause before reacting. Between stimulus and response is a sacred gap. Find it. Breathe into it. This is how you break the cycle. Choose meaning over comfort. Peace is not the absence of challenge. It is the presence of purpose. Let your values lead, not your fear. Final reflection. The storms will come. The mind will worry. The path will at times disappear into fog, but within you, there is always a deeper stillness, a quiet watcher, a compassionate presence, a sky that never breaks. And from that place, you can meet life, not with resistance, but with grace. This is the invitation of Buddhist wisdom, to wake up, to watch the mind, to return to the present, to choose what matters again and again. You don't have to fix everything. You only have to stay present. You only have to begin. The path of peaceful presence, a meditation on worry, compassion, and letting go. Pain is not in the events, it's in how we experience them. The mind labels everything good or bad, and then reacts. But peace arises when we stop wrestling with the mind, when we drop the labels, when we stop believing the story. The present moment is the only place peace exists. Worry fades when you return to now. Presence is power. It anchors you when the mind spins. Use breath. Use awareness. Come back home. Most of the problems you're afraid of don't even live here. Let go. Trust life. Letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Trying to control everything only creates more stress. You don't need all the answers to trust the process. Flow with life. Don't fight it. Accept what is. Acceptance is peace, not surrender. You don't have to like something to stop resisting it. Fighting reality only fuels suffering. When you say yes to what is, your energy shifts. Stop fixing yourself. You are not broken. You are becoming. Improvement doesn't come from self-hate. It grows in the soil of self-love. Support yourself. Grow without shame. Thoughts are not facts. Your mind says many things. Most of them aren't true. You are not the voice in your head. You are the awareness. Hearing it. Detach. Observe. Choose what you believe. That's how you break free from worry. Practice radical self-compassion. Inner peace starts when the inner critic rests. Speak to yourself like someone you deeply care for. Self-judgment fuels anxiety. Kindness calms it. Your flaws don't make you unworthy. Gentleness creates space for real growth. Replace worry with action. Worry wastes energy. Action moves life forward. Do one small thing now. Focus on what you can do, not what you fear. Clarity comes through movement. Doing dissolves overthinking. You don't have to react. You are not your reaction. You are the space before it. Responding is power. Reacting is programming. Feel the emotion. Let it pass. Peace lives in the pause. Choose what matters. Comfort is tempting, but meaning lasts longer. Align your actions with your deepest values. Let purpose lead, not fear. Discomfort is part of growth. Choose what feeds your soul, not just your mood. In a world obsessed with control, this is revolutionary. You are already free. You just forgot. You don't need more things, more status, or more certainty. You need to return to yourself. Now, in this moment, the secret to peace is not changing life. It's changing how you relate to it. Worry is not wisdom. It's a habit passed down by fear. But your true nature beneath the panic is calm, grounded, and wise. Buddhism teaches suffering begins in the mind, but so does liberation. The key isn't outside of you. You were born with it. Stop believing every thought. Start accepting what is. Choose action over fear. The chaos may remain, but your relationship with it softens. Let go, breathe, focus on what truly matters. This is not passive surrender. It is powerful clarity. You are not behind. You are not broken. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be here. When you realize nothing is lacking, the whole world belongs to you. Zen proverb. If this awakened something within you, don't keep it to yourself. Like and share this message. Drop your reflections below. Subscribe to Insightful Journey for more Buddhist insights on living a peaceful life.